Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Fish, and I'll tell you why Ditki, Draw to Know It, is active learning perfected. There are several key tenets to active learning. The first is that information is delivered in a stepwise progression. Now, typical educational videos, animated or live action, move from scene to scene. With Ditki, however, the information is delivered as a whiteboard that builds out during the course of the video. What this allows for is that the learner can study early information as new information is delivered. So information is retained on screen, and this really optimizes memory retention for foundational concepts. The next thing that's really critical is the spatial hierarchy, the spatial framework of information itself. Now, typically, educational information is delivered in sequence. Early information is decayed, and there's recency bias for later information, and the student has this sort of scattershot knowledge base. With Ditki, we map out all of the information into a spatial hierarchy, so foundational information is learned early, and then as new information, new knowledge points come in, they strengthen the foundational information. Another key thing that Draw to Know It does is multimodal cognitive network recruitment. So typically, educational information is learned in this back half of the brain. Visual information in the occipital lobes, linguistic and auditory information in the temporal lobes, but this front half, this anterior one half of the brain is neglected. Through the instructional style of Draw to Know It, we really task this front half of the brain, which is dedicated to task sequencing, premotor planning, and so forth. So the student is activating areas of the brain that are normally neglected, and this really elevates the entire learning process and really improves knowledge understanding and long-term memory retention. Assessment is key to making memory stick. Now, Draw to Know It is delivered in this instructional style where the student learns an idealized version of the information through videos, notes, and images, and so forth, but then they immediately go and try to put pen to paper themselves. This allows them to self-correct their mistakes and reinforce what they got right there in real time. So far, I've really focused on the Ditki tutorials, but we have all kinds of reference materials, be it quiz questions or images such as radiographic images, cadaveric sections, histological images, even clinical photographs to help the student synthesize the information and transition from an understanding of the abstraction of the information to actual clinical application. I just want to take a moment to highlight what our long-term, decade-plus users really like about us, and that's the self-testing nature of the site, the accessible, bite-sized nature of the modules, the clear, concise nature of the tutorials, and our customer support. We'll help you create a custom curriculum for your course to make sure that our materials match your needs. Finally, LMS integration. We now offer LTI integration to any LMS, Canvas, Brightspace, and so forth. We're certified by One Ed Tech. And what this means is you have the capacity to deliver our media components directly into your LMS, be it our tutorials, flashcards, or even just our quiz questions. Draw to Know It is an excellent way to improve classroom engagement, improve test scores through better long-term memory retention, and give struggling students a boost through the clear, concise nature of our tutorials. Try it out now.